Li Shi stared out the window of her office. The cityscape gleamed, a testament to humanity's technological prowess. Yet behind the glittering facade, a different kind of revolution was brewing. One that centered not on machines, but on the very essence of human experience, emotions. The news played on a continuous loop, each headline a stark reminder of the shifting landscape. Emotional data, once a niche interest, had become the new currency of power. Algorithms, hungry for emotional insights, promised to predict everything from consumer behavior to election outcomes. The potential benefits were undeniable, but so were the risks. Li Shi knew this intimately. As the founder of the Emotional Freedom Front, she had dedicated her life to ensuring that emotional data was used responsibly. But the battle was far from won. With every passing day, the line between progress and exploitation seemed to blur a little more. The future, she realized, hung precariously in the balance. Support for Li Shi's movement was growing. Across the globe, people were waking up to the profound implications of emotional data. Grassroots organizations, student groups, even some politicians were joining the chorus for ethical and transparent use of this powerful new technology. But resistance was also stiffening. Tech giants, accustomed to operating with little oversight, balked at the prospect of regulation. Governments, tempted by the promise of social control, saw emotional data as a tool to be wielded, not restrained. The battle lines were being drawn, and the stakes were higher than ever. Li Shi scrolled through messages of support from every corner of the globe. A student in Brazil, a teacher in Japan, a retiree in France, all united in their belief that emotional freedom was a fundamental human right. Yet for every message of hope, there was a news alert about a government contract awarded to an emotion mining firm or a tech giant lobbying against data privacy laws. The fight was far from over. The tension in the room was palpable. Li Shi sat across from Marcus Stone, CEO of NeuroSync, one of the leading developers of emotion-reading technology. Stone, a charismatic visionary, argued that his technology held the key to a better future. He spoke of personalized medicine, optimized education, and even the eradication of conflict. Li Shi listened intently, her expression guarded. She acknowledged the potential benefits, but her focus remained on the risks. The potential for manipulation, for discrimination, for the erosion of privacy. These were threats that Stone seemed unwilling or unable to fully grasp. Their conversation, a microcosm of the larger debate, ended in a stalemate, a stark reminder of the deep divisions that remained. Imagine a world without prejudice, Stone argued, his voice smooth as silk, where understanding replaces fear and empathy guides our actions. His words were carefully chosen, crafted to appeal to the noblest of aspirations. But Li Shi saw through the seductive facade. And who controls this technology? She countered, her voice unwavering. Who decides what constitutes prejudice? What safeguards are in place to prevent its misuse? Her questions hung in the air, unanswered. The chasm between their worldviews remained, a gulf that technology alone could not bridge. Back at the headquarters of the Emotional Freedom Front, a sense of unease lingered in the air. The confrontation with Stone had exposed the immense challenges they faced. Li Shi's team, a diverse group of engineers, activists, and ethicists, grappled with the enormity of their task. Doubts surfaced, whispering through the hallways like a chilling wind. Could they truly protect emotional data in a world where technology advanced at breakneck speed? Was their fight against the seductive allure of progress a futile gesture? The weight of responsibility pressed down on them, threatening to crush their spirits. "What if we're fighting a losing battle?" whispered Anya, a brilliant young coder, her voice laced with uncertainty. The question, unspoken until now, hung heavy in the air. "We can't afford to think like that," interjected Javier, a seasoned activist who had seen his share of struggles. "We have to believe that change is possible." His words, though firm, did little to dispel the cloud of doubt that had settled over them. Li Shi, sensing their despair, rose from her chair. "We are on the right side of history," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. "The fight for emotional freedom is not just about data. It's about preserving the essence of what it means to be human. And that is a fight we cannot afford to lose." Her words, infused with a quiet strength, rallied her team, reminding them of the purpose that bound them together. Li Shi knew that the path forward required more than just resistance. It demanded a new framework for the digital age, one that acknowledged the power of emotional data while safeguarding fundamental freedoms. She envisioned a global consortium, bringing together governments, tech companies, and civil society to establish ethical guidelines for the development and deployment of emotion-reading technologies. It was an ambitious vision, perhaps even naive, some would say. But Li Shi refused to be deterred. The stakes were too high, the potential consequences too dire to allow cynicism to triumph. The future of emotional freedom, she realized, depended on humanity's ability to come together and chart a new course. The task seemed daunting, but Li Shi drew strength from the growing chorus of voices calling for change. From the heart of Silicon Valley to the halls of the United Nations, a global conversation was taking shape. Scientists, philosophers, policymakers, and everyday citizens were engaging in a debate that transcended borders and ideologies. Li Shi knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but she also knew that the alternative, a world where emotions were commodified and manipulated, was simply unacceptable. The time for dialogue, for collaboration, for a new social contract for the digital age was now.